Hello, we're going to be looking at Bluerain Examiner. This is a standalone software that can be used on its own or can be integrated to the main Bluerain school software. So this is the home screen. On the left we have the menu. CBT and analysis are still under construction. So today we're going to be looking at questions, exams, and subjects. So we'll start with questions. So here we have the listing of all the questions. We have a search bar where you can search questions by type, content, classroom, subject, or topic. So here we have the ID of the question, the classroom it belongs to, the subject, the question content, the type of question, objective or essay, and the date it was created. You can view any question at any point in time. You can find out more information about the question. So you can see the topic, you can see the date it was created, the date it was modified, and you can also delete any question by clicking that button. So I'm not going to delete this one. I'm going to delete this one instead because we're going to recreate it. So next we're going to see how we create a new question. So we create a question by simply clicking on this button. Now this module allows us to create questions in bulk. So before you create a question, you need to download a template. But before you download a template, you need to set the properties of that question. So now I'm going to create objective type question. So I'll select objective. You can see I have the option to create either objective or essay, but we're going to create objective now. You select the class. I'm going to leave it as SS3. You select the subject. I'm going to select English, and you can select a topic. So you can see we have reading and grammar. You can also add new topics instantly. So I can add comprehension and save, and we have comprehension on the list too as well. So but we're going to select grammar. Now I'm ready to download the blank template. So this gives us an option to either create a bulk question of 10, 20, 10, 30, 60, or 100. So since we're only creating one question, we can as well just select 10 questions. So click OK. This is a message to tell me that I already have this template in my documents folder, but I'm going to override these questions so we can create it from scratch. So click yes, and we have a blank template here. So as you can see, this template has 10 rows, meaning that I can create 10 questions in here. And this column right here is for the answer. So I'm going to go ahead to create the question. So my question goes like this: what is a noun? And I'll create the objectives. So A, name of a person. B, name of a place. C, name of a thing. And D, all of the above. And the obvious answer would be D. So I'll put my D there and I'll save. So using this format, I can create 9 other questions in here and specify the answers. Why we specify answers is so the system knows the correct answer. This will be used for the CBT part. So when a student is answering a question, the system can correctly mark the question, comparing it to the correct answer that has been stated at the time of creation of that question. So this is one question we've created, a complete question, and we're going to now import it into the system. So I'm going to close this template and find that particular file. So the file we're looking for should be titled English Language SS3. So we go to our documents folder, we look for English language. So this is it, English language SS3 questions. So I'll double click on it, and it has finished processing. So this is a quick alert to say it's been processed. So to finish up, you click on save. So I'll click on save, and you have a confirmation question created successfully. So I'll click OK. So we have details of our question. The question type is objective, classroom SS3, subject is English, topic is grammar, and the date it was created. And you can see the details of the question. The answer is D as we specified. If all this is correct, you can click OK. If it's not, you can discard it and start all over again. So we're going to click OK. So we have a question here. So the newest questions appear on the top. So here we have a question. You can view it. You can see the details on there. You can see more information about the question. You can see the topic it's under. You can change this topic at any point in time. And so that's it. This is how to create a question. So you can also edit a question after you've created it simply by just clicking edit. So it's still going to open the Microsoft Word editable document, and you can edit the question. So I'm going to make a change here. So instead of thin, I'll put name of an animal, and I'll save it. I'll close it, and I'll click Save Changes. So notice what has happened. The question has been updated, as you can see, and the modification date has been recorded. So I'll exit, and we have our modified question. So we've seen how to create a question and how to modify a question. So next we're going to go to the exams section. So the exam is listed similar to the questions. So you have your search bar, you can search exams by classroom or subjects. So we have the exam reference, we have the exam details, number of objectives, essays, the total number of questions, the subject, the classroom, and the date it was created. So let's take a look at a previously created one. So you can see the details of a previously created subject. So we're going to create one. But first of all, let's delete this one because we're going to create something similar to that. So here we're going to see how to delete a question, an examination record. So you delete an examination record simply by clicking on the delete and confirming that, and that question is gone. So now we're going to create a new exam record. So we do that simply by clicking on the create exam button. So here we have a console that gives us options to select what the details of the exam record. So here we can select which classroom we're creating the exam for. So we're going to leave it as SS3, and you select the subject. So let's select English to see what is on there. So English language SS3. We only created one question, and here's the question on here. But let's use a classroom that has quite a number of questions so that we can generate an exam paper. So here we have agricultural science for SS3. It has a total of 29 questions. We haven't selected anything, so selected is 0. So you can either click on this button to select everything, all 29 questions, or you could select individual questions you want. Also, you could use the auto select option, which allows you to randomly specify the number of questions you want, and the system will randomly select those questions for you. So here I'm going to select, let's say out of the 27 objective questions I have, I want let's say 15. No, let's do 10. Then for the essay question, I have a maximum of 2. I'm going to select all 2. So you can see 27 plus 2 makes 29, which is the total number of questions we have under agricultural science for SS3. So I'm going to click OK, and here we have a summary of what we've selected. So agricultural science for SS3 exam questions, it's made up of 10 objectives, 2 essays, which is a total of 12 questions. So this gives us options to insert the invigilator name and the instructions and also the time allowed. So here I'm going to put the invigilator name as Samson Akanet, and the instruction by default is answer all questions, but I'm going to add more text. It allows you to add more text if you want. So I'll just put also answer all questions in the essay section. Yep. And the time allowed by default is 30 minutes. You can also increase that. So I'm going to increase this to 45 minutes. Now we're ready to create the exam record. So you can create the exam record simply by clicking create exam. But also if you want to generate the exam paper as well as create the exam record, you can also select this. So this allows you to instantly generate the exam paper whilst you're creating the exam record. So I'm going to click on this so that we can see the exam paper too as well. So by the way, you can create the exam paper at any later time after creating the exam record. So I'm going to click on create exams. So now this exam record has been created. Let's minimize this for a second so we can see the exam we just created. 10 objectives, 2 essay. This is the extra text we added to the instruction, and this is the time allowed, and yeah, that's it. So we're going to exit it. So you can see it gives you the option to generate exam paper. So you don't necessarily have to generate it at the time of creation. You can always generate this exam paper at any point in time. So I'm going to exit this and we'll open the exam paper we've just generated. So you can see all the information we specified, and we can see that it has selected 10 random questions as we specified, and you can see the 2 objective questions. So this is how to create an exam question and also generate an exam paper. So like I said, you can generate this exam paper at any point in time simply by opening the exam record and clicking on generate exam paper. So once the exam paper is generated, you can print this and photocopy it as many as possible for that particular class. So now we're going to look at subject. Subject is just where we create the subject for a particular class. So if this examiner module is integrated to the main Bluerain software, you wouldn't need to create the subjects because it's simply going to tap in from the subjects already created in the main software. But if this is used as a standalone, you can create your subjects for each classroom. So as you can see, these are the classrooms. You can create the subject by typing the subject name. The code is going to be automatically created. So let's actually create one. So I can just say physics, and the subject code is automatically created. You can put in your details and select the classroom this subject is for. I'll just put none here and I'll click on save.